Hey guys, what's up? Hope everybody's having a good day today. Thanks for tuning back in, much appreciated. Out here in the tackle room late at night for another hardcore hogging tip I'm going to give you guys. And today we're going to talk about red treble hooks. And I'm going to give you all the dirt on it, sort of give you my opinions on it, my experience on it. And I think you guys might find it interesting if you aren't familiar with red hooks versus regular hooks. So, hey, just real quick before we get started, just want to remind everybody, I've been giving some updates here the last week or so. Johnny and I, with Fish the Moment, we're having our first ever bass camp on November 6th here in Springfield, Missouri at the Boatworks facility. And this is going to be an 8-hour in-person seminar with Johnny and myself. Johnny's going to do half of it on the offshore electronics deal. I'm going to do half of it on the shallow water applications. Here in Springfield, Missouri, if you've never been here, we got the Bass Pro Shop National Headquarters, Bass Fishing Hall of Fame Headquarters, Wonders of Wildlife, Table Rock Lake right down the road, and the Bait Works and the Boat Works Shop. So if you guys are interested, just go to fishthemoment.com. You can sign up for it there. There's only 30 spots available, so you're probably going to have to hurry up and secure a spot if you're interested. So hope to see you there. Okay, red treble hooks, guys. Let's get into this a little bit. I'm a big fan of red treble hooks, and one of the things that I'll tell you about it is they're pretty misunderstood. I think a lot of people have heard about them, and if you're a seasoned bass angler or an average angler that knows a little bit about fishing, you know that a lot of people they say you need to put a red hook on the front of your bait to attract the fish more. That's like the basic 101 viewpoint of red hooks. So I'm going to sort of give you my experience a little bit with it, when I use them and what situations. First of all, I want to tell you guys right off the bat, I would use red hooks all the time on my baits if they came in a different style. Now, this is the one that Gamakatsu makes right here. This is just a standard round bend treble that comes in red. They also make an EWG in this. The problem that I have why I don't use this hook all the time is I use a variety of styles. I use the round bends like this. I use the EWGs. But my favorite hook that I really use probably 90% of the time in my fishing is this Gamakatsu G Finesse treble. This has got an O'Shaughnessy bend on the thing like this. And this, in my opinion, is the best treble hook you can use. It comes in a couple different stiffnesses, and it's just an outstanding hook. By the way, I'll include the Baitworks link here, guys. If you guys are interested in ordering any of these, you can get them at Baitworks through the link I provide. If you want to use that, it's just a great way to help the channel out here. So anyway, given that, the only reason I don't use red hooks is they don't come in the G Finesse model. Maybe they will at some point. But red hooks, I first started using red hooks on my square bill crankbaits. And actually it was by accident too. I've got a practice hook box that I carry with me in tournaments. And usually in this practice hook box, it's like hooks that I have that are oddball sizes and maybe have a little bit of rust on it. And I use them to practice with because I don't really care if I'm catching the fish or not. And I was trying to find it. I was fishing at the time an old balsa square bill, and I was trying to find some hooks for it, and all I had is a couple red hooks on it. And I put it on. I was fishing down a tournament down at Lake Eufaula in Oklahoma, and started ripping them on this square bill with the red hooks on it, middle of the summertime. And first of all, I didn't know if it was the red hooks. I took the red hooks off and I put some regular hooks on and caught some fish, but nothing like I was catching the red hooks. Now, whether that has anything to do with it, it could be timing, whatever, I'm not sure, but it gave me a lot of confidence. But the time that convinced me of it more than anything was an FLW tournament I almost won at Lake Champlain. This was an FLW tour event back in the early 2000s, and I was fishing a jerkbait, Megabass Vision 110. I was actually the only one up there fishing it because the bait had just came out and I had them with me. And in practice, I was getting these big smallmouth to hit the 110, but I could not get them in the boat. I was jumping, I'd get, out of every 10 fish that I hooked on the thing, I'd have 7 of them jump off, big ones, 3 to 5 pounders. And I just kept scratching my head over and over again about what do I need to do to hook these fish, because I knew that I had a good deal going. So anyway, I had some red hooks. I had actually read some stuff, this was a long time ago, about there was this one old 80-year-old dude that talked about how he really liked to use red hooks for smallmouths. I remember that. I put those red hooks on the Vision 110 and they started eating it. Then first day of the tournament, the first and second and third day of the tournament, or excuse me, the first day of the tournament, I was in the top 5. Second day of the tournament, I was leading at the second day, and I was leading at the third day, going into the last day, all on the red hook jerkbait. Wind died the last day of the tournament, and I wound up finishing 4th in that tournament, but they just wouldn't, they'd follow the bait, but they wouldn't hit it. But anyway, after that tournament, I realized that in a clear water environment, the red hooks work great, just like they do in a stained water environment. So I started using them any time that I can get away with it on the baits that I use. So the specific, hooks that I use, like I said, I'm not, there's at times where I feel that the G-Finesse Gamakatsu treble hook, it is such a good hook that it will land me more fish, even more than the red in the round bin and EWG. So it's sort of a balancing act a little bit. What I do in my fishing is I'll experiment with a couple different hooks. If I'm not getting the fish to eat the G-Finesse good on a bait, say they're just getting the last couple barbs in or something, or one barb, then I'll switch up to a red hook to see if that helps out a little bit. And a lot of times it does. And sometimes they don't. Sometimes you don't need the red ticks. Sometimes, just a regular hook, if the fish are eating the bait good, sometimes a regular hook is just fine. Now, a lot of people are probably going to argue the fact that, there's other factors that are more important than the color of the hook. And I do agree with that to some extent. But what I'm saying is, if you can get away with it, definitely try the red hooks, because I think there are times where the fish just really key in on it. It has to do something with the flash. Everybody says red disappears in the water. I don't know if I believe that, because I don't know if we truly understand what a bass sees underwater in different water visibilities and different light conditions. I think there's some theories out there about it, but I don't know if we can, pick up on that exactly. Another thing that gave me a lot of confidence with it is when I was in the Bassmasters Classic in 2004, the one that Takahiro Mori won. And in that tournament, back then in the Classic, we all fished out of identically rigged boats. So, and that's what they used to do, is everybody had the same boat provided by, the tournament sponsor. So it just so happened that Takahiro and I, they had the boats lined up in the boatyard, and our boats were right next to each other. So we were sitting in there the day before the tournament started, working on tackle out in the boatyard, and Takahiro brought his square bill box over and showed them to me. He had a box completely full of Balsa B2s. I mean, the same color, blackback chartreuse sides, completely stuffed with them. Every single crankbait he had in there had red treble hooks on it, had red Gamakatsu round bin treble hooks on it. He winds up winning the Bassmaster Classic on it. So that even further solidified my belief in red hook. So give them a try, guys. Like I said, it's something that you sort of have to mix and match a little bit. Sometimes I'll use 2 red hooks. Sometimes I'll use 3 on a jerkbait. Sometimes I'll use 1 red hook. I mix it up a lot. I wish I could give you more of a concrete, solid foundation about when, under what situations to use red hooks, but it's really fluid. It really changes based on a lot of different variables. If I could give you one piece of advice with it, is if you're having problems hooking, or you're getting fish barely hooked on a regular colored hook, just try going to red hooks and see if that helps out a little bit. Also, I would suggest using all red hooks. Sometimes I use one, but most of the time I'm using all red hooks, and see if it makes a difference. See if you get any more bites, and see if the fish are eating a little bit better. It's just trial and error. Anyway, I hope that helps out, you guys. I think it will. It's a big arsenal for me. I've got, a bunch of them in my treble hook box that I carry. I'll continue using them. And if Gamakatsu ever comes out with the G-Finesse and red, I'll be using those too. One of the downfalls, I will say, to finish up real quick about a red hook, is that they lose their finish very quickly. The red will chip off a hook. It doesn't maintain the integrity and the color that it has from the factory. When you get it from the factory, they're usually dark red. The red will eventually fade. It will eventually start chipping off, and you have to toss the hooks away and get new ones. That's the only downside to it. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the tip. Much appreciated. Tune in. Please hit that subscribe button and the like button, and we'll be back soon with another one.